Ezekiel Elliott's agents are going to assess his value at the NFL Combine.
What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is. What up? What up? What up? How about the boys?
What's good, YouTube? It is your boy T-Time here on the Super Bias Sports Show, a place where a fan can be a fan, no matter how biased their takes are. How y'all been? Been a little busy lately. Haven't been able to really get the content out like I wanted to, but we're about to change that up. And I'm going to start with this video about Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott overall is one of my favorite players in the league, despite his stats and everything. I just like the dude. He's a good dude, runs hard. He's a very vital part of our team. But shortly after the season ended, reports came out that Ezekiel Elliott was willing to take a pay cut to stay with the Cowboys because we all know what's going on right now with his contract. He signed a 6-year, $90 million contract. $50 million was fully guaranteed. What else? There's a 4-year out option for the Cowboys, which will cap him at his $50 million. But it's $11 million, almost $12 million in dead cap. But if we keep him as is, the cap hit is like almost $17 million, which at that point you can't have Zeke at $17 million and franchise Tony Pollard at $10 million. That puts you at 27, pretty close to $30 million tied up in running back money, plus Dak's cap hit of 40 plus million or whatever that is. It just doesn't make sense when we need wide receiver help. We need O-line help. We got a whole list of guys that we got to bring back. So we got to figure some things out. So when the report came out that Zeke was going to take a pay cut, I thought that was good. It makes sense. His stats, basically since he signed his extension, have gone down. Right now, after this season, Zeke ranked at the 20th, ranked in the 20th spot in the running back position this year, right? But he's being paid. He's got the third highest at 15 mil. So you got Christian McCaffrey at 16, Alvin Kamara at 15, Zeke at 15, Dalvin Cook at 12, 12 and a half, Derrick Henry at 12 and a half, Nick Chubb 12.2 mil, Aaron Jones 12, Joe Mixon 12, and then look at this. Saquon is at 7.8 mil, and James Conner rounds out. I think this is the top 10 at 7 mil. Right now, Najee Harris, who is the 20th highest paid running back, right? He's making 3 mil. So if you do the stats, right, if you basically match it up, the stats, right, if Zeke is ranked 20th in the market for 20th ranked player, right, at the position is around 3 million, Zeke's set to make almost 16 million this year. It's not really adding up. So my question to you guys is like, what do you guys think is a feasible pay cut, right? Like, what do you guys think he should take? I don't think – I can't picture him coming back to play for the Cowboys at $3 million, right? I can't see that happening. But I also know for a fact it's not worth it to us to keep him at this $15, $16 million mark. It's just not worth it. He's not that guy anymore. He's just not. He's played 15 games for us. He didn't even, crack the 1,000-yard mark. He had a lot of touchdowns, but again, he was more of a short yardage back. So what does it look like for Zeke, right? And then them going to the combine to assess his value. I don't really know what that means, but I just don't see us. I'd love to have him back, but he's not the number one guy. Our number one guy is Tony Pollard, who's making $800,000 this year. Tony Pollard ranked 12th at the running back position. So you would really, right? And then if we franchise him, he's going to be getting that $10 million mark, right? So, like, how much can we really spend in our running back room between these two? If our O-line gets healthier, I do think that Zeke's production will be better. It would definitely improve because we had a lot going on with the O-line. But Zeke looks slower. He's a lot heavier than he was when he first came in the league. So what does that look like for us? What does that mean for the Cowboys? If it's me, I think Zeke right around that 6 to 7 million mark, and even some people might think that that's high, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. What do you guys think? Where do you think he should be at? Should we just cut him, be done with him? Do you think if he drops down to about 6 or 7 mil, right, where does that put us? Because if you think about it, if we pay him his 16 and you franchise tag Tony Pollard, you're looking at $27 million. If you cut him down to about 6 mil and still franchise tag, that's $16 million. It's a big difference from 16 to 27, in that range, right? So that's pretty close to half that we would be spending in our running back room. So does that make sense, especially for what Zeke does for us and where he's at? We just got to think about some things, but I'd love to see him back. I'm really not completely done. I just can't picture seeing Zeke in another team's uniform. I can't really picture that. But overall, I know something has to happen. He definitely has to take a pay cut of some sort. I think it's going to be a bigger pay cut than a smaller one, but what does that look like, And honestly, I think that we go for a running back in the first round. A lot of reports are coming out about Bijan Robinson. We still have Malik Davis, who I personally think is a really good running back. So if we do lose Zeke and we can re-sign Tony Pollard, I know TP in his recovery is sounding like he should be back for the first game of the season. So as long as everything goes well for him, fingers crossed, prayers up for him. I think we'll have our number one guy. So it's like, how do we look without Zeke? Like, are you guys okay with, drafting Bijan Robinson, having Tony Pollard as your number one and Malik Davis as your number two? Like, is that okay? We still have an $11 million cap hit, right? With Zeke, almost 12, plus that Tony Pollard franchise tag. You're still looking at $20-something million of running back money, right? So it's like, if Zeke could really do us a favor and take that pay cut, I think you just stick with him. Anything under that 10 million, right? 6 million, 7 million, anywhere around there, I don't see him coming back for less than that. Like, I can't picture him saying, you know what, I'm going to come back for $4 million. I just don't see that. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what your thoughts are. Talk to me in the comment section and let's talk about this. But, I think, me personally, I'd love to see Zeke back at the right price because we arguably had one of the best running back duos in the NFL with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott when our offensive line was remotely healthy. So let's see what happens. But y'all talk to me. Let me know what y'all thoughts are. It's going to be a lot more. I'm going to have a lot more content coming out about the Cowboys. We're about to start talking draft and free agency and all of that stuff. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. And y'all know what it is. It's your boy T-Time on the Supervised Sports Show. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate y'all, and y'all be